pencils back there. I mean, I have erasers. If you just want a plain eraser back there in the blue kind of glass type thing, I think there's some erasers back there. Just borrow it and then put it back. Or just get a new pencil so you have a better pencil. Hey, I forgot until Lee J came and reminded me. If you'd like to sign up to help learn how to do tech for forum and dances and stuff like that, like how to do audio stuff, that list right there, and then Lee J will come and copy it down and find a way to get with you. If you are currently working on your homework, Emery, please stop because we have class to do together. So we should all be looking at 511, the front of 511, because the entire front of it is our work from class. Now, before we do that, though, you all got a plan book yesterday, right?
Yes!
Let's make that plan book look how it should, and because I need to make a change. Did we get to 511 yesterday? No. So 511 is today's homework, meaning tomorrow's going to be 512. There's a stack right there behind the Math 7 room. Grab a plan book. Anyone else not get a plan book? If you weren't here at Foundations, you probably still need your plan book. Whew, now that y'all are in here, it's getting warm. Body heat. 20 people at approximately 100 degrees each. We radiate heat all the time. That's also how heat, like thermal cameras or heat-seeking, whatever, like humans have heat. There's actually a really cool video of a dude going outside. He like starts rubbing snow on himself, and like at first the thermal camera's like, "Oh, your body's really hot." And then he starts rubbing snow on himself, and it like changes his temperature. It's really cool. I know, I'm a nerd. Get over it. So math is obviously important in my opinion. But if you're going to do baking or cooking or even give a crap about what you put in your body, math is really darn important because when we care about the crap we're putting in our body, we probably will look at the nutrition facts. Yeah, the nutrition facts, the food label, right? So, if I steal Sophia's breakfast, this one's not bad. Because this is a single serving item, right? And by a single serving item, your package only comes with one. And therefore, the information they give you on the label, if we can get this to focus. What am I trying to get this to focus on? It tells you the serving size, right? Sorry, I need white. That's what messes up my camera is when there's no white background. Let's try this. So Sophia's breakfast package says the serving size is how big? The whole package. So this information is telling you if you eat the whole thing, this is what happens. Now guys, I hate to tell you, but these percentages are what should be in your body for the entire day. And I'm not trying to pick on Sophia because a lot of you probably ate this for breakfast. What stands out to you when we look at this food label? Any of those percentages stand out to you? Emery?
Calories for 203.
Yeah, but that's not one of the percentages.
Oh, I can't see the percentages.
Okay, well, sorry. Matt? What about the added sugars? Just eating this breakfast item gives you 25% of the sugars that you're supposed to consume all day long. That's not great. Guys, because if you're hungry and you eat 2 of these, now you've eaten 50% of the sugar that you should have eaten all day long. So math is really important for a lot of reasons. But guys, nutrition is one of the biggest things where like, if you understand it, it's really helpful to you. And if you don't, those useless calories or pointless extra sugars, like that can get you, right? What about this nutrition label? How big's the, and I know it's a little unfocused, but how big's the serving size?
Container, like 1 cup.
The serving size is 1 cup. How many are there in the package, though? 4, right? So if we're going to eat the entire package, right? Let's say I'm real hungry and eat the whole package. What do I need to do with these values? Multiply them by 4 because these values are based off consuming a serving, right? And this is how we get into equivalent ratios. Let's make sure it's not on this screen. It is on this screen. I'm just going to keep moving on because we have some notes to fill in. All right, so on the front of your 511, there's obviously a line that needs your help filling it in. Right here, a ratio is a comparison of two quantities by what? By what? Division. So all of us should be writing division here. And there's actually three ways, actually more than that. We have this division symbol. Now also, this is pretty much the same symbol. Now, is that a colon or a semicolon? Colon? I always forget. I'm not joking. I always forget. Another division symbol we can use is like the slash. And another way we can talk about this... Oh, crap. I forgot I changed these notes and I gave space down here. So, sorry. If you're writing these up here, you can also bring them down here. We can do the colon notation. We can do the actual division symbol. We could do a slash... We can even use the word 2, like 1 to 5, or like 3 to 1, right? The word 2 is also how we're talking about a comparison. Sometimes we could do per. It depends on the situation. So per is normally trying to get us back to like a rate, and this doesn't have to be a rate, just a ratio. So if you start using per, you can take your ratio and turn it into a rate. So you're not wrong, but like we don't, per wouldn't always work. It could sometimes. So, yeah, the fraction bar of like A over B, right? And I can't just write, like that would look like a negative if I didn't write any other letters there. And also there's actually more. There's a lot of ways that we can show division. So let's bump over here. Sorry, this goes across and then it goes down. Anyone want to read for us? Because I'm tired of reading. Safe, most often.
Most often in this course, ratios will be written as fractions and stated in words. Example, if there are 28 students in the class, 15 of them are girls, you can write the ratio number of girls to the number of students in the class as
Give this a shot. What do you think? You're trying to write the ratio, and we could just use the colon if we want to make it easy. We're going to write the ratio of girls to students. And because I haven't even used them in 2024 yet, this is also why I wanted to get cards out this morning and do seating by cards. By the way, Ezekiel, I made you a card. This is a strategy I've been doing since my mentor teacher years ago called me out, and I called on one student, like an Emory, who always has their hand up. I called on them 6 times in one class. And a bunch of other kids I called on 0 times. And that is not appropriate. Matt, what do you think? Ratio of girls to students. How many girls did they tell us? How many students did they tell us? How many students? Sorry, couldn't hear you. Man, I'm old. Come on. Sometimes you got to repeat things. So we could write 15 to 28. We could write 15 over 28. We could write 15 to 28. We can write this a lot of different ways. Ratios have a lot of options. So then when we're still on the front. I'm teaching. Equivalent ratios. Yeah, that blue highlighter was a poor choice. That was very dark. Guys, this is what we've been doing. Do the same thing to the top and the bottom. What do we normally draw, though? Instead of the giant one, because I don't really love having to box out the giant one every time. Lane?
Don't we just have like a big rectangle around it?
Not a big... I mean, you could, if you want to write it like this, but what do we... Like, if you look at the whiteboard, what are we normally doing when we do this? You want to give it another shot? Anybody?
Arrows.
Arrows, right? We're normally doing like times 20 and times 20 because people that didn't learn through CPM might not know what the giant one is. Sophia, I'll throw away your trash since I stole. Actually, I'm going to keep it for this afternoon, by the way. That was very convenient. I figured somebody would have food in here that I could take. Otherwise, I was going to get a bag of chips out. Like, yeah, because none of this stuff has. Ooh, my Snickers might. You guys want to look at what's in the Snickers?
Yeah.
So servings here would be 2. Right? My serving size is 1 of these little bars. One of you guys got me this for part of Christmas present. Total fat 14%. Ooh, guys, saturated fat's the not good fat. One of these little Snickers bars give me 20% of the sat fat that I should have all day. Saturated fat is the not good stuff. Sodium is what I have to watch out for because I have a heart condition. So this isn't too bad on sodium, right? Only 5%. That percent's not too high for sodium. Added sugars. Guys, if I eat this whole candy bar, that's 90% of the sugar I should have all day. And if you don't pay attention to this stuff, this is how you can give yourself diabetes. I'm not joking. My brother has adult onset diabetes. If you just pound your body with sugar, it starts to not know how to process it correctly. And this, now there's diabetes that you can have from birth, and that's just genetic. Then there's also, you can give yourself diabetes. Guys, this is the stuff that you should care about. Your body, because you only get one of them. That's also why I haven't eaten that Snickers yet, and I probably will only eat it a little bit at a time.
Wait, sodium. What are stuff that has a lot of sodium?
Sodium salt. Yeah, so of course a candy bar doesn't have a lot of salt in it, but certain chips have a lot of salt. Like nuts often have a lot of salt because they're salted. Like peanuts are oftentimes salted. Sophie? Yeah. Do you know what additional sodium helps you do? Helps you stay hydrated. So you need sodium so your body can absorb water. So athletes, if you don't have enough time to drink water during the game, sometimes football players or whoever will take a salt tab before their meet or whatever, because it helps you keep your hydration in. But also that's not good to do over and over and over again because you're messing with your body's chemistry. Lane?
The same way you can get diabetes, because you get that one problem eating not enough or too much salt.
I don't know. That goes beyond what I understand. Mine is probably genetic because my dad has a heart condition also. My brother and sister are starting to figure out that they have some heart things. So I had genetic testing done, which means is it in your genes, right? Is it just in you? And it was inconclusive. So they would need to test my brother and sister also, and they didn't want to get tested. So I was just who cares? I'm probably not going to have kids. I don't care if I'm going to pass it on. Genetic or not, I have what I have. So I don't know that you can give. I mean, you can give yourself a heart condition from smoking or other eating tons of fatty food because that the fat sits around your heart. Yeah, there's other things. Same example that's in your notes, that is on your homework paper, is in your math notes, so you can have it all chapter. And then down here, before we keep moving into the lesson, just because I want to show you guys just a lot more examples of how to make equivalent ratios. So if you want, now I don't know how well highlighters will work on the pink paper. If you want to highlight equivalent ratios, that is what we're practicing a lot of. And that is just do the same top and bottom. Right? So what that's essentially telling us to do is do the same. Yeah, bins are on your tables again, guys. Right? And so if you want to highlight this, and what you could also write is what we're doing here is do the same top and bottom. And it's really just multiplication. Now you could also divide. But remember, division is multiplication, just of a fraction. So do the same multiplication or division to top and bottom. It's depressing.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah. So, all of this to say, also, that's why I'm gone next week. I go for my annual heart exam. exam is not the right word, but I go in the big tube machine and get an MRI done. They hook all the things on me, do an EKG. So next week I'm out to go down to OSU and give them lots of money just to tell me that everything is okay still. Literally, because I had my surgery back in 2020, and all we do now is check, is everything okay? All right, so if you're talking saturated fat, we've already talked about saturated fat, the not good fat. Now, it's okay to have some. It's just, there's a certain amount that you should try to keep it under. So we want to partition. Anyone know what it means to partition? This is literally a partition. To split something up. So a partition splits something up. We want to take this line that is 100%, and I forget, I didn't put this one on your paper, so we might actually skip this problem. And we want to be able to put 15%. We want to put a mark on there that's 15%. So I need some help. Partition, Lane told me, means to split something up. All right, so there we go. I split it up. Kamal, did I do it right?
No.
Do you think that's a good place for 15%?
So all over there.
So move it left. Tell me when to stop. I feel like we're on a game show.
You're right about there somewhere.
Right about there somewhere. Where I had marked this, what would that be?
50%.
Because if we know that we have from 0% to 100%, we know in the middle is going to be 50%. We could also mark out 25%. And this is on your homework. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Oh, I did.
I just gave you an answer to the homework. 70. So, yeah, guys, we know percent bars, right? We can kind of visualize and approximate and estimate. It's not on your. I literally said this is not on your paper, so we might just skip it.
That is
You said this is on your homework.
Oh no, 25% is a part of your homework. Sorry, not that bar, but I'm not going to tell you where it is. This is on your paper. So looking back at the front of your paper. Recommended daily intake of fiber. They tell us, and I forget if I put this text on your. No, I didn't. So this is where we have to read up here. 4 grams is what, Raiden? 4 grams is. You can just start reading at the beginning if you want. So we got to read up here. It's actually not on your paper. It's up here to make you guys actually engage in the class with me. Yeah, 4 grams is 16%. Put that on your paper beneath where the 4 grams cuts off. Like right here, that's telling us that's 4 grams. That is 16%. I need you and your teammates to work to turn that into 100%. If 4 grams is 16%, what would be, how many grams would be our 100%? This is this. What we're doing is this. All right, work with each other. I need coffee. And I forgot about my smoothie. I don't need coffee. I need breakfast. We want to set up a proportion. A fraction equal to a fraction. I'd be evil to not let you use a calculator on a problem like this. This is tough, man.
So are you saying our other maths wasn't tough?
Who, what?
Are you saying?
Well, now the numbers are starting to get less nice. You know what I mean? Because, right here, hopefully you can spot how this is not a very nice number. If I'm going to set up a proportion, still not here. Arfon, how do I set up, and I could do this on the left or right of my paper, but guys, you should put this on your paper so you can look back at it. We're going to set up a proportion. That's fraction equal to fraction, right? Arfon, what do you want on top? Grams or percent? It doesn't matter. You decide. You tell me what you want on top. Grams, sure. 4 grams. Guys, if you don't have this sort of work on your paper, I would be copying this down. 4 grams was equal to how many percent? 16%. What percent are we trying to get to? 100. How am I allowed to change the bottom? Can I add, subtract, multiply, divide? Like, what can I do, Sophie? Ooh, we're going to divide to figure out the multiplication. So we're going to do, because we're trying to go from 16 and turn it into 100, we divide backwards. Oh, that's not too bad. 6.25. That's not too gross of a number. So then what do I have to do next, Devin? Ooh, okay. Yeah, multiply our 4 grams by 6.25, which we said we can actually use the calculator and just do times 4. Or you could type in 4 times 6.25. And we get 25 grams. We have to start getting in the habit of labeling our numbers. No naked numbers. That's inappropriate. Now, wait a minute. If 25 grams is our 100%, that needs to go out here at the end. Because this remaining part is what we're missing to get to 100%. How many grams are we missing to get to 100%? Well, if 25 is our 100%, and we already had 4, how many grams are here? 21.
Which is 84%.
Now wait, Bethany, how'd you figure that out? Sorry, crap, no! It's because Bethany said percent and my brain hurt. This is 21 grams, guys. Please, this is also why you should do math in pencil. That's 21 grams. I don't even know how to, like, fix this issue. But Bethany, how'd you figure out the percent that you just said?
I didn't say that.
Oh, somebody. Oh, sorry, I was right in front of me. So, and my brain is saying Bethany is sitting here because she normally does. Donna, how'd you figure that out?
84%. I got that from doing 100 minus 16.
Oh, because we know we're getting up to 100%. We know we already have 16%. So if we subtract these, we get 84%. Yeah. This is 21 grams. I'm just honestly going to scribble the whole thing out because this is where my brain gets confused easily. Was it you that caught my mistake? Yeah, see me after class. Get a piece of candy. But not right now because we got too much math to do. But after class is only in like 10 minutes. Now, another way that we could figure out that 84%, and guys, here's a part that you don't have to write down. But we just said this is 21 grams. And the total that we want is how many grams? 25. So another way to find percent is just part divided by whole. I forget if I put this in your math notes. So if you look at part C, ooh. Yeah, I mean, if you flip your math notes, the next section is part to whole relationships, which is what we're talking about. I kind of like the way we've been doing it. But another way that we could get that 84% is just do this division. Like literally, if you grab a calculator and you do 21 divided by 25, because the part we're looking at, the 21, divided by the total that we have, now that doesn't get you 84. 0.84, because that's the decimal. And then to turn the decimal into our percent form, move it 2 places right, get 84%. Questions? Questions? So if we move on to our vitamin C.
Wait, is this real?
What?
The actual recommended value?
I don't know. This book is a couple years old, so you would maybe want to do your own research to double check if this is exactly what they still say. Every now and then, medical people figure out some new stuff and maybe tweak some of this, but it's pretty much standard. Like, it hasn't changed much in a while. Vitamin C was also a band back in the 90s. Jane, it was like a girl group. Like how there's like boy bands. I think Vitamin C was a girl group. Jane, what is important up here? What are we getting told? It's not on your paper, but it's up here. That 60 milligrams is what? Yeah, the recommended daily intake. Now, if that's your recommended daily intake, what percent would that be? That's your 100. Grab your pencil. That would go here. Now, guys, vitamin C is one of those things that you maybe, like, who takes like a Flintstone or some kind of multivitamin every day? You probably take more vitamin C than that in one multivitamin. Because some things, if you put too much in your body, you just pee it out. Sorry to be like, it's not gross. We all pee. Like, literally, if you put too much in your body doesn't process it. It just flushes out. But things like fat and sodium don't. They absorb. That's vitamin D. Vitamin C is like what's in oranges.
It's like that thing that you like drink.
Okay. So wait. Nothing else on here is filled in, but I bet we can figure it out because they've already split up this number line. I want you and your teammate or teammates to try to figure out every other missing piece of this. Every other missing piece of this. Matt, we can bring that back. That's what we did in this class. I was just giving you water, but I'm out. I don't have any water in my fridge. Oh, look, here was Sophie. Since Sophie's partner's left.
Then what percentage would that be? The percentage. Percentage be like 10%? Or what? 6.8 10%.
Guys, my biggest struggle is giving you time. Please use this. Please don't just like sit there and wait. Like, please actually try to figure some stuff out.
Can we do a level 2?
Yeah, if you finish up this one. I mean, this is fine.
Wait, you said 60.
Oh, 60 minus 6 is 6.
How'd you figure that out?
Let's just do a third one. Actually, we can't.
Is this half?
Like,
But this. Hey, let's make sure we're reading this correctly. This only single section is what they're talking about first. And then this entire, like the rest of this bar is what we're talking about for this amount of milligrams and this percentage. So we can probably jump back together, I guess. Bethany, what percent did you get for this little line right here? 10%. How'd you figure that out? You're jumping up to the top already. I think Jane wants to jump in and help you. Jane?
Like there's 10.
This is broken into 10 pieces. And if this is broken into 10 pieces, and it gets us to 100%, 100 divided by 10, each of those is 10%. Meaning, Eli, glad you're back, man. What percent would be here? I guess I shouldn't have used green over here, but what percent would be in the other section? Yeah, this is 90% because it has 9 of those sections. So that's 90%. Are you even listening to me? No, you're not. You're staring up at the wall, and I'm saying things and trying to get you to write them down and having to ask you specifically to do it. So this amount of milligrams needs to be 90%. No, wait, how'd you figure that out?
Because I had 6 on that.
How'd you have 6 on that?
6 milligrams. Because we did 60 divided by 10.
Because the 10 parts. You might want to write this on your paper. Safe is saying he did 60 divided by 10. That got
6 milligrams.
6.
So then I minus.
Oh, hold on. You're going too fast. All right, so 6 milligrams goes over here because Safe figured out every one of those 10 is 6. You got to wait and see if people have questions. Questions. All right, keep going.
And then I did 6 minus 60.
Oh, 60 minus 6, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
And
So then you did 60 minus 6.
54.
54 is what should be written on top of our number line there. Milligrams, but I think they gave you the label, so you don't have to write it again. Questions? And again, if you want to do part divided by whole here, well, for this section, could be 6 divided by 60, which would get you 10%. Or you could also do 54 divided by 60, that would give you 90. Let's try, what's the other thing we talked about? Ooh, paint. I care about this, well, I wouldn't say more than nutrition, but I probably do more with paint and wood stuff. My wife takes care of, like, what are we eating, because she went to school for, like, nutrition. She's got a master's in health, so, yeah, she knows all that stuff. If there are 3 parts blue and 12 parts red, we are making purple. Right? Red and blue make purple, but apparently we need more red than purple, depending on the shade that you want, right? More red. Or, yeah, I said than purple, right? Yeah. We need more red than blue, right? Well, according to this, but the part that's not filled in, total purple paint. Ezekiel, what do you think about the total purple paint? Yeah, we're going to have 15 parts, because if we had 3 parts blue, 12 parts red, we're going to have 15 as our total parts of paint. Whether that's like pints or quarts or cups or gallons, we don't know, but it's parts. So 15 is our 100%. Well, we need to figure out what percent blue and what percent red. Work with your teammate for a minute, see if you guys can figure this out. What percent blue, what percent red?
My calculator is not typing.
Is it yours or mine?
Mine.
Well, if it's mine, it might just be broken. We can try to reset it. That normally helps.
Oh, and never mind.
You got
The
it?
delete button was like pressure.
It's like stuck down.
Yeah. I know.
It was under pressure, as David Bowie might say.
No, that's wrong.
To calculate a percent, we're running out of time, so I won't put any of you on the spot. We can do part divided by whole. You might want to write this down on your paper if you didn't know what to do. So I'm going to do red because blue won't show up as well. if I do 12 divided by 15, what do I get? No, I don't.
1.25.
12 divided by 15.
Oh.
Order matters. What do you get?
0.25.
12 divided by 15.
0.8.
No, you didn't. You did 15 divided by 12.
0.8.
Guys, this is not funny. If you are accidentally typing this into your calculator backwards, this is not funny. That's a dramatic mistake to be making halfway into 7th grade year. Order matters. For division and subtraction, yes, I know. For addition and multiplication, it doesn't. But order matters here. My number on top is smaller, and if you got 1.25, that can't be the answer. 1.25 doesn't make sense. That would be 125%. Doesn't make sense. Turn your brain on. What do I get when I do 12 divided by 15? Anybody?
0.8.
And the times 100 is here to shift the decimal and push us into the actual percent form of 80%. Meaning, what percent must blue be? Anybody? 20. It's gotta be.
You could just do it a little differently by adding the 3 plus the 12, and then equals 15. And then you would just do 15 divided by 5, which would equal 3. And then you would do,
No, wait, how did you know to do divided by 5?
because it equals 15 in the start, equals 3.
Oh, so you did that because you had spotted the 3? So you're right, that's another way we can do it, but I definitely want you to be able to do the way I did. The part divided by whole. Because, guys, what I'm trying to get you to understand, when we do math in class, it's probably not the most difficult you're gonna see. So yeah, what Kamal was saying works, but it won't always work because the numbers won't always be this nice. These were nice numbers. Alright, get the back of 511 done. There is no excuse, guys. You've had it since Monday. There's no excuse to not have it done by Friday. Oh, wait, no. We're not turning 511 in early because we're going to check it tomorrow. We're going to check 511 tomorrow. We're not turning it in early. Have a great day, guys. Yeah.
Is your wife like really strict on you since she's like that doctrinal?
No, but we do have like a cookbook that is all based on macros. If you know what a macro is.
Oh yeah, it's like a format edit.
No.
Oh no, it's 419.
No. You're using the macro you understand, the computer macro, and this is why English sucks. Macros are also involved in food. I mean, what you're saying is probably true, but not for this conversation. So macros are like the basis of all health of like I need X amount because my body weight, my body type, like it's all very specific to like who you are. So that's like the science of food. What up, Sophie?
It might be like
Safe, don't forget your candy.